Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with dates in Excel. So I'm going to turn over to my Excel screen. Okay, and this is the survey that we took on the first week of class. And as you can see, I already cleaned it up a little bit. I got rid of some of the junk and I turned it into a nice, clean, rectangular spreadsheet. And the date column we're going to play with a little bit is what is your birthday over here in J. So right now we can see that it is already formatted as a date. And often Excel will recognize data that's entered in this kind of format and know it's a date. But once you have it as a date, you can choose different date display options and deal with it in a different way than you would if it were just text or numerical data. Now that said, if you want to deal with this as text data, you can do that too. But let's skip that for right now. And we're gonna take a step backwards and look at this date again. So as I mentioned in the other video, Excel stores dates by remembering the day after January 1st, 1900, that date took place. So it just counts every day sequentially. And so this person on the top here, Madeline, was born on the 36,282nd day after January 1st, 1900. And that's what happens if you convert a date into a number. That's what you see there. And I'm gonna put it back into the date. And so knowing that it's a number like that allows you to do some functions with it, to do some math with it. But before we even do that, I want to show you a couple of other functions you can do with dates. So I'm going to insert a new column here. Now, let's say I want to send everybody a birthday card on the date of their birthday. Well, so one kind of obvious function you might think Excel can do, and indeed it can, is extract the month from a date. And that function is called, as you might guess, month. Now notice I started by putting in the equal sign, and so Excel knew I was doing a function, and then started auto-filling it. Then when I click on it, it actually gives me down there the little, well, it did for a moment anyway, the little formulation of sort of what data this function needs. But it said serial number, and what that means is a date. Now, so we're looking at this and saying, well, what? This is supposed to tell me the month of the birthday, and let me fill it all down first. The problem is the return column here is formatted as a date and not as a number. And when you format it as a number, you get this number from 1 to 12, which represents the months of the year. January being 1 and December being 12. So let me just, kind of confusing, I grant you. So any numeric column can be displayed as a date if you change the formatting. Of course, most of the time it makes no sense. So I will turn that back into a number. And so a similar sort of function that might be worth knowing about, I'm just undoing all that. So instead of looking at the month of the birthday, let's say we wanted to know what day of the week someone's birthday, someone was born on. Okay, so the day of the week of this particular date. We can do that by using a sort of similar equals weekday. Serial number, and again, That's this. And this is going to give a similar code where Sundays are 1, Mondays are 2. And again, because it's formatted as a date, it's not going to look like right, because these are all just numbers from 1 to 7. And that's why it says January 1st, 1900. But once we change it to a number, it starts making sense. Now it'd be better, it'd be nicer if it returned the results as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever. But it uses this number from 1 to 7, and you can use find replace or something to put in the actual days if you had cause to. Now, of course, if you want to learn how to use these things, or you think there should be a function to do something, but you don't know what it is, just put it in Google. All of this stuff is pretty much in Google. For example, if you Google the question, how do I change a date into a weekday in Excel? You'll get explicit instructions for using the weekday function. Okay, so that's some stuff you can do with dates. But let's do some special stuff now, sort of really remembering how this data is stored, that it's this number. So I'm going to get rid of this column that we just made here. And let's say I want to know, how old everybody is going to be on a specific date. And so I'm going to pick an arbitrary date, and let's say January 1st, 2021. So to do this, I'm going to create a couple new columns to work in. So this is everyone's birthday. I'm going to change it to the number. And this is the number of days after January 1st, 1900 that they were born. Let's get the day, let's go back to birthday. The date we're interested is, what was it? 1/1/2021. Whoops. So this is the number of days after January 1st, 1900 that January 1st, 2021 is. So if we think about what everyone's birthday is, that's the number of days after 1901 that they were born. So that will equal 44197 minus 3, whoops. And the reason I clicked it rather than typing the number there is because for each column, as we have the formula filled down, we're going to want to update it with the value in, or for each row, I want to update it with the kind of appropriate value for that row, but not that. That we want to be fixed. We're going to turn it into a number. So, and you can look again at the formula up here. This will be the number of days that each person has been on this earth between that day and this day. So the number of days between then and then will be how many days old each person is, right? Now, of course, this is in days because that is in days. And so let's convert days into years. So I'm going to edit the formula here. I went up to the formula bar. So let's say divided by 365.25. Yeah, so we know there are 365¼ days in a year. So to convert a number of days into years, you divide by that number. I'm going to fill it down. So this will be everybody's age on New Year's Eve in years. Pretty cool, huh? Of course, years are kind of weird because people really want to know. You know, years are weird because everything else you round up, right? Tim here, who's going to be 21.6 or years old on New Year's Eve, is not going to be able to, you know, convince people he's 21. But, you know, most things you round up, except for years. All right, well, I think those were the major things I wanted to demonstrate about working with numbers. Good luck with the homework, and please shoot me an email if you have any questions. Often if you're having a mistake, you know, if it's a common mistake, I can often diagnose it pretty easy, you know, just by email. So best wishes. Speak to you soon.